I'm so pregnant. I'm about to pop up and I have no energy even to talk. But I promised to myself that I'm gonna do it every week. And here I am, keeping my own promises to myself. Even through it's hard. Second week of the Artist Way. Here what I discovered this week. In the second week, she talks a lot about your surroundings, about people you spend time with, and it is so important. Since I'm pregnant, I've been talking about this in my previous videos. When you get pregnant, you naturally lose a lot of friends or people you spend time with. I wasn't an exception. I stopped talking to a lot of people, and actually now, after a few months of almost solitude, I honestly can tell that it maybe was the best thing that happened to me. I can see how it influenced me, and I feel and realized more than ever how important it is to filter the people you spend time with. There are different kind of people in our lives, and here are some types of people that you should be careful about. It's like a diet. When you have problems with your stomach, I need to try and see what causes me problems. The advice is to just eliminate most of the foods and then start adding week by week new foods and see what kind of food causes you problems. Same approach you can use with people. You can isolate from people for a second, for a moment, for a month, get your peace back, and try to first of all see what people you want back into your life, and second of all just bring them back step by step and see what people make you feel good about yourself and people actually make you feel bad about yourself, because it is not always easy to understand when you just have your normal friend groups, your normal everyday life, your chats. It's difficult to maybe notice who makes you feel good about yourself or bad or any other type of way. Types of people that you should be careful about. First of all, people that always bring problems to the table. Most of your conversations and most of your communications are about solving some kind of problem in their life. Oh, they have problem with this boyfriend, or this other friend, or help me with my business decisions. It's like you just constantly find yourself solving their problems or thinking about their problems. I had a friend like this. At some point, I've just noticed that her presence in my life is more than my presence, if it makes sense. Like during the day, I think about her and her problems more than I think about myself. And this is this is wrong, okay? It's clearly wrong. Because she's so nice and it feels nice to help someone. It feels nice that somebody needs you, somebody needs your advice. You kind of want to help, you want to be useful, yeah? It's a nice feeling. But at some point you can just lose yourself into their troubles, into their lives, into their business, and they're gonna thrive. They're gonna grow, develop, and you're just gonna be stuck on the same level with a lot of thank you, with a lot of gratefulness, but that's it. It's not gonna help you that much. The people who force you into solving their problems, you should definitely see the balance. You should definitely think and regulate of how much you want them in your life. Helping friends is good, but it's all about balance, it's all about quantity, it's all about timing, and of course, first of all, it should be you, your life, and then the rest of people. It doesn't have to be daily solving their problems. Second type of people is negative people. It's self-explanatory. People who are always negative, they talk shit about other people. I mean, we are girls, we all love like to bitch about someone once in a while, like gossip, maybe like judge someone. Like it's normal to do it sometimes, but you know, there are people who are always negative. Like doesn't matter what happens, they are gonna be negative. They're negative, they're very skeptic, they're very realistic. But if you are trying to build something, if you are trying to trying to change your life, you probably don't need this negative, realistic, skeptic energy. You need someone positive, or at least someone neutral. But like people who are constantly complaining about someone, complaining about their life, don't see the bright light. It's just too much. Especially when you're on your way to change your life, cut them off. These people, you don't even need to have them in your life even once a month. Negative people, cut off. That's it. The last type of people that I'm going to talk about today is, it sounds weird, but those are people who force you to be yourself. By yourself, I mean your old self. They don't acknowledge you changing. They have perception of you in their head. They have the image of you in their head. They have the understanding of you, your old ways, and they only can accept you, old you, and they kind of force you to be old you because they just don't want to acknowledge that you've changed. And it's hard because around these people you automatically adjust to their perceptions. Like when I was younger, I used to be crazy, more fun, less responsible. I would do things that nowadays, like 10 years later, I'm not doing those things anymore because I've got, thanks God, I've got smart and more responsible. I'm just not a child anymore. But when I'm around those people, they're like, oh, Christina, you do this because it's so you. This is something you would usually do. And I've noticed that because it was me, and they know it was me, I kind of start to adjust to their perceptions. I was like, yeah, it's me. This is what I usually do. And I start doing things that I don't like doing anymore and I don't want doing anymore. New me that would not do this. But around these people, I become old version of myself because this is how they see me. And for some reason, I just automatically adjust. Afterwards, I feel bad. I feel used. I feel forced. I feel wrong because I don't want to be old me. The only way that I see here is talk to them once to tell them, sorry, it's not me anymore. I've changed and I want you to acknowledge it and see this. Or if they refuse, then you just unfortunately have to cut them off. So yeah, a lot of cutting off. But if you want to change, if you change in your life, it is the sacrifice you have to make. The other discovery of this week is Julia Cameron from this book is talking about skepticism a lot. But I liked how the author of this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, how he talks about this topic. I think it's more or less the same, but I like the way he explains it. And the thing about skepticism is that it feels smart. It just feels smart. When you're positive, you sound like a hopeless romantic, like an idiot with pink glasses who doesn't know a lot about life. When you are a skeptic, you sound smart. You just sound smart. You sound like a reasonable man, like a person with experience who can back up their speech with history, with experience. But actually, skepticism is also, if we are talking about future, it is the same speculations, the same as optimism. We don't know future. We cannot predict it. We can only take a risk and do things, but we cannot predict the future. So it doesn't matter if you talk skeptically or optimistically. Both ways are just speculations and fantasy. Why not to take optimistic approach? It makes you feel better. It's just more motivational. So why skepticism? Just because it sounds smarter. But it's actually not. It is not smarter, okay? She also talks a lot about attention. And I feel like it's obvious thing. We've heard this idea many times already. But sometimes we need to remind ourselves the obvious things. You develop in the areas where you put your attention. The other exercise from this week that I loved is to write down 10 small changes you want to do in your life that you can do, and maybe to do a few of them this week. This is actually so nice because one of my changes were like I wanted to put on some shelf with the glasses in my kitchen, and I've been wanting to do this for months. And it's not difficult, it's not expensive. I was just lazy. I was telling myself I'll do it. And this week I just did it, and this small change It didn't take me a lot of time, but I feel so much happier when I walk into my kitchen and I see this little detail. Yeah, 10 little changes. Maybe you do a couple of them and you'll see the difference in the way you feel. So this was my second week. And I actually feel that this book changes me, especially I feel it when I write my morning pages, how much my thinking is changing. And first week I said I'm going to work on my positivity. I want to be more positive, less negative, and I already see the difference. Step by step, a little differences. I haven't mastered it yet, but I do see the changes. So yeah, I'm happy I'm doing this. And I have another 10 weeks to go, and let's see. Thank you for watching and see you next week. Maybe in 2 weeks. Let's see how it goes.